Welcome to the Worship Center, a special place to be with God and a special place to hear the stories of God. But to get ready for something so special, we have to get ourselves ready. So I'll greet you first. The Lord be with you and also with you. Let's sing our first song to help us get ready. Oh God, we adore you. Lay our lives before you. How we love you. Jesus, we adore you. Lay our lives before you. How we love you. Spirit, we adore you. Lay our lives before you. How we love you. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. When we hear those words, we know it's time for one of God's stories. So today, I'm going to tell you the story of the ark and a tent for God. This is the desert box. So many wonderful and important things happen in the desert that we just have to have a piece of it here in our worship center to help us tell the stories. The desert is a strange and wild place. At night it is very cold, but during the day it's burning hot. There is almost no water at all in the desert. The desert is always changing. The wind comes, and as it blows, it shapes and molds the sand. So the desert is never the same. God led the people through the waters to freedom and gave them the 10 best ways to live. Now the people were on their way to the promised land, the land that God promised to give them. The people of God loved the 10 best ways to live so much that they wanted to carry them with them. But they needed a way to come close to something so special, so precious. So God told them how. First, they made a special ark, a box to carry the 10 best ways to live in. It was covered with gold, and on the top were 2 golden angels, and inside they put the 10 best ways to live. But now they needed a way to get ready to come to something so precious. So they made an altar where they could burn incense. Which made a wonderful smell and smoke. So now the priest could go through the sweet-smelling incense and smoke to be close to the ark, to be close to God. But this still wasn't enough. So they made a special table, the table of showbread. It was covered with gold. And every Sabbath day they put 12 loaves of bread on it, unleavened bread. On the other side, they put a golden candlestick with 7 burning candles called the menorah. Now the priest could go between the table of showbread and the great lights of the menorah, through the sweet-smelling incense and smoke, to the ark, to be close to God. But this still wasn't enough to get ready. So they made a tent. It was called a tabernacle. And now the priest could walk into the tent, past the great lights of the menorah, past the table of showbread, through the sweet-smelling incense and smoke, into the Holy of Holies, to the ark, to be close to God. Outside the tent for God, there was the altar of burnt offerings. Here they gave the very best of their animals to God. A great bowl of water called the laver was placed in front of the tent so the priests could wash their hands and feet before they went inside the tent, between the table of showbread and the great burning lights of the menorah, through the sweet-smelling incense and smoke, into the Holy of Holies, to be close to God. They covered the tent for God with beautiful cloths. But they couldn't just leave this out in the desert. So they covered it with rough animal hide, so that if someone were in the desert, they would see the tent and they would just walk on by. They put a special fence around the tent. Now they had a special place and a special way to come close to God. It was a tent for God. So whenever the people of God moved in the desert, they could take down the fence. And the tent. And everything in the tent. And they could carry it with them wherever they went. And the 10 best ways to live led the way. I wonder how it feels to come close to something so special as the 10 best ways to live. I wonder how the sweet-smelling incense and smoke help the people of God to be ready to be near something so precious. I wonder how the great burning lights and the table of showbread help them to get ready to come close to something so precious. I wonder how you get ready to be close to God. I wonder where the 10 best ways to live are kept now. Today's story is in the Bible. It's in the Old Testament, in the book of Exodus, Genesis, Exodus, the second book in the Bible. It sort of talks about the time when the people of God were wandering in the desert. I'm going to light our Christ candle to help us remember God is present with us whenever we read His Bible or tell His stories. So this is from Exodus. The Lord's tent is set up. So the Lord said to Moses, "Set up my tent on the first day of the year, and put the chest with the 10 Commandments behind the inside curtain of the tent. And bring in the table and set on it those things that are made for it. Also bring in the lampstand and attach the lamps to it. Then place the gold altar of incense in front of the sacred chest and hang a curtain at the entrance to the tent. Set the altar for burning sacrifices in front of the entrance to my tent, and put the large bronze bowl between the tent and the altar, and fill the bowl with water. Surround the tent and the altar with a wall of curtains, and hang the curtain that was made for the entrance. Use the sacred olive oil to dedicate the tent and everything in it to me. So I'm going to change the light that's with us now in this room, so that it can spread and fill this place and even go where you are. It's filling the room now. Let's sing our goodbye song. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.